Something that did go well, had a rough week, but one thing that did go well is this fucking haircut. Fucking very happy. Excuse me. Very happy with this haircut. Feel like my dude did a very good job. I went to a guy a while back who is a great haircut. I just don't, it's hard to nail the top of my head the way I want. It really is. It's just, there's really only one guy who's been able to do it. Couple other great barbers, probably two of the best barbers in town, have tried it, got very close to it, did great jobs, but they just couldn't quite nail it. And one of the last guy that did it, he just kind of, he went up a little too far on one side, and it kind of messed up what I was going for a little bit. So it took a little, and I'm not knocking the guy because the job he did was very good. The fade was incredible. The cut was great. It was just the style wasn't exactly what I was looking for. Not his problem. So he says, finally, I think I got it to grow back in right. And he was able to cut it and give me this super sweet coif, my high and tight cut here. I think it looks pretty good. You know, I don't often like to brag about myself because I really don't think I'm particularly very attractive. I think I got weird kind of bug eyes and got a weird pointy nose, and my eyebrows are so light, it almost looks like I don't have eyebrows sometimes. I don't think I'm exactly a very handsome person. I joke around about it, but I really have a horrible, very low opinion of myself. Except my hair. I got decent hair. I like my hair. So when I finally got my hair back and got it right, I was very happy. Now, I'm not telling you about my haircut just to brag about my great haircut. I'm telling you about what fucking happened at this fucking haircut. And I need you guys to pay attention because I need you to tell me if I'm crazy. 844-HIT-DUM, 844-448-3862. You tell me if you think I got set up. Now, my barbershop, I don't make appointments. I just walk in and it's one of the old school barbershops where you sit and wait until the chair you want is open. So fortunately I got there. When I pulled in, I walked in, and I just remembered I didn't walk right to the chair. When I walked in, I went and hung my jacket up and then went to the bathroom before I went and sat in the barber chair. Interesting. Just remember, that's an important detail. Because I sat down in the chair, normal stuff, went over what I want, high and tight, fade up the sides. I want to be able to brush it back there, flip here, be good to go. He said, okay, let's nail this. So we start bullshitting a little bit. He asked me how the show's going. I tell him it's going well. I tell him, I'm door dashing during the day, make extra money, wedding business is going good, just that time of year and all that kind of shit. He said, that's good for you. Way to grind, that's good stuff. And I said, Disaster says my haircut says I look like a PS5 soccer player. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Those guys got great hair, those European soccer players. But let's see here. Irish Ronnie says, my wife always thought you were the best looking guy on RMG. Well, you must be very handsome then, Irish Ronnie. Your wife must have good taste. So you must be handsome too. Thank you. Tell your wife I said thank you. But so anyway, I'm sitting in the chair. We're bullshitting about what's going on with me, what's going on with him. And then there's another barber, a lady, sitting across the thing waiting for her chair to, like a customer to come in. So she's sitting there on her phone, and I don't remember who started it first. If it was the guy cutting my hair, his name's Steve, or let's just say Jane, the barber. I don't know if it was Steve or Jane who started the conversation about a vasectomy. And Steve, the barber, says something along the lines of, my buddy went online and showed me a botched vasectomy. And I just immediately didn't think twice about it. Loud enough for him and everybody else in the room. There's a guy getting his hair cut next to me, a guy across the way getting his hair cut, and then this other bartender. So room full of people. Immediately when he says, yeah, I saw this, my buddy showed me this botched vasectomy on the internet. It looked like a pig snout. I just immediately went, that's me. Just flew right out of my mouth. That's me. And he went, what? I went, that's me. And he goes, what's you? I go, on the internet, the botched vasectomy picture. That's me. That's me. I'm the one on the internet that you're looking at. About third picture in, and he goes, yeah. I go, pig snout is not what is in the picture. It's actually more of a hippo ear is what we decided that it was more like. So, he and the other woman then were very, well, they were playing confused, I think now. And this is what I want to know from you. 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. Do you think when I went to the bathroom, when I walked in, that, like because he knows I used to be on the show, right? So, and if you look at that picture on the line, it actually has the little tag for, it says Aftermath and Rover Radio on the picture for botched vasectomy of my picture on the internet. So he knows I used to be on the show. So I'm wondering if he saw that picture, saw the Rover Radio thing, and then said, that's my customer. That's Sean or Dumb. That's the guy's hair who I cut. And then he was just waiting for the next time that I would come in to tell me or to talk about it, just to see if I would like admit that it's me. Like, because it was just such a weird conversation that it came up. It was, what are the chances that that guy brings up a botched vasectomy in the moment? I think when they went to the bathroom, I think they'd already talked about me long before I ever was coming today, right? I think Steve and Jane it had come up, the botched vasectomy, the picture had come up. Steve says to Jane, hey, just so you know, that guy in that picture is he comes here. I cut his hair. That's the guy that comes in. His name's Sean. He sits here. We cut his hair. That's him. Next time he comes in, let's see if we can get him to talk about it or whatever. And then when I came in the door and went to the bathroom, he looked at Jane. Steve was like, Jane, that's the guy. That's the botched vasectomy. That's the pig snout guy. That's the pig snout guy from the internet. Then at that point, then I come back out. And then, so they were like, okay, we'll ask him about it, but not right away. We got to wait a sec. We can't do it right away. All right. So we'll ask him about it, talk about something, ask him about a show real quick, and then get to the botched vasectomy part. I think that's closer to how it went. And CB says they knew for sure it was you and other dumbs. It seems pretty weird to me that they would bring it up. It does seem very strange. CB asked if I could get a pearl clutching emoji for when you guys are clutching them. I don't think I have my button. I could press it for you. No, I'm kidding. I think we're good on that. But no, that is that so I am of the belief that he totally knew it was me. They'd set up the conversation when I went to the bathroom, because I forgot that I went to the bathroom first. That's a crucial detail, because I just remembered it, because if I hadn't gone to the bathroom, I don't think they'd have had time to set up the, yeah, this is him, that's the guy kind of thing. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have been able to do that. So I made a critical mistake going to the bathroom, but I have to go to the bathroom all the time because of the goddamn botched vasectomy. So full circle. What am I going to do about it? All right. Speaking of wieners, have you guys seen, did you guys see Drake's dong? Did you get a chance to check out his hog? I don't know if I can show it to you without, let's see. I could probably zoom in on it and we can not see any body parts, I believe. Let's see here. So here is the picture. Well, here's the top half of the picture that went viral. You tell me if you think this is Drake. Hold on one sec. Real quick before I got into this Drake thing. Hi. It's another dumb show. Son of a bitch. Hello. Welcome to Another Dumb Show. I'm Another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining me on issue number 177 as my dog chews on my phone cord and ruins it, you little shit. I just looked down and caught her chewing on my phone cord. God damn it. Those things are not cheap, Darla. God damn it. Anyway, hello guys. Well, I'm in such a great mood. I'm all happy and shit. I'm just in a great mood here. And then I catch this fucking dog chewing on my best friend, ruining my stuff. That's what best friends do. They ruin people's stuff. Anyway, welcome to all of you. So glad to have you guys here with me this evening. I hope you guys had a great day. I've had a great day today. I did some DoorDash and made not a bunch of money, but good money today, so I'm happy about that. I'd love to hear about your day. 844-HIT-DUMB, 844-448-3862. That is the number to call into the show. You can tell me all about your day. Tell me what you got going on. I'd love to hear what you think about everything we say here on the phone, here on the show. I'd love to get your comments on stuff, so don't forget to call in when we're talking. If you are not already following the show on social media, you can do that on Instagram and X. And of course, TikTok. I got to put that little icon up there too. So just at Another Dumb Show on all these socials. And a reminder too, you can always download Another Dumb Show as an audio-only podcast through YouTube Music. Very simple. Just go there, search Another Dumb Show in the podcast section, and it will pop right up. And you can download it and listen to it and not use up your data. And you don't have to worry about, driving and looking at stuff, and getting in trouble or crashing or whatever. Who's Scott 78 says, pick your shit up at Another Dumb Show. No, it is a mess over there. I actually have I got home from driving today, and I just sat down and I was kind of, just throwing shit all over. I had like snot rags and stuff. I was busy working, man, when I got home. I didn't have time to clean, okay? Cut a brother some slack. I got no woman here to pick up after me, and I got no woman to worry about making it look nice for. Well, I mean, she comes over to smoke weed and stuff, but she doesn't care what there's stuff laying around. She doesn't care. Anyway. And, by the way, I just mentioned Who's Got 78, but I'd like to say, give a little more love, not love, but, shout out love, all that good stuff to the league. B4 was first. Thank you, B4, for supporting the show daily. And, of course, we're always adding members to the league. You can help support the show. Hey, this thing runs on the fan funding, so I always appreciate you guys joining and becoming members. There are tier levels starting at $1.99 a month, going all the way up to $9.99. The $2.99 tier will get you access to our members-only shows. And, of course, you can always get your super chats and stickers in as well. So, not only are we looking for fan funding here on Another Dumb Show, we're looking for a co-host. If you weren't listening or watching last night, you missed that Mikey is no longer on the show. Nothing bad, no fallouts, nothing like that. It was, typical in untypical dumb fashion. There was no blow-ups, nothing crazy, no yelling, nothing like that. Just Mikey coming to the realization that it just was a little bit too much for him with everything he's got going on in his personal life. So he just he's stepping away from the show indefinitely. So that means I'm officially looking for somebody who would like to come hang out from 7 to 9. It'd be great if it was every day, but it doesn't have to be every day. I understand that's a pretty big commitment for people to do. Male or female, doesn't really matter. Female would be great to get a female's perspective on things. You know the drill. Got to be able to talk about, got to have opinions on things, got to be willing to talk about your personal life, all that good stuff. You can obviously decide how deep you want to go into it. Mikey got real deep into his personal life, but you could decide how deep you would like to go into it. So really just looking for things that kind of relate to the things we're talking about. So if you got lived a crazy life, you got a lot of stories, and you think you can relate to things that we talk about either in the news or sports or social media or whatever, this might be a fun thing for you to do. So if you've ever considered doing podcasting or anything like that, shoot me an email, anotherdumbshow@gmail.com. And if it's not just you, mention it to somebody you know. Mention it to somebody who you talk, like one of your friends or whatever, who might be into media or broadcasting or something like that. Let them know. Send them my way, and I would love to talk to them and see if they're interested. So, and speaking of that, I did get a comment here, and don't forget, you can, if you're not watching live, I do love when you guys put in your comments, because then I can read them on the show the next day. So if you do, you can always, if you don't feel like putting the comment in, you can always email me, whatever is the easiest way for you to get your comments over to me. You can always do that, either commenting on the videos or shoot me an email, anotherdumbshow@gmail.com. This comment comes from Wet Shoelaces. This was on yesterday's issue. He said, "Gonna miss Mikey. You guys play well off of each other. You should have a rotating guest lineup. Like get Curious George on for an episode, Diz for one, Secret ADS Mod for one, the original girl from 1.0 for an episode, etc. I think people would be more likely to do it for like a one-off thing than for signing up for an everyday gig." So that's true. Probably be much. That's why I said, doesn't have to be a full-time commitment or anything like that. Just like I said to Mikey, if it get, you could come on when you want. But I think it was just content-wise, it was just getting to be a little bit much for him with everything he has going on. And then Wet Shoelaces goes on. He mentions my old pal from the old show. He says, "Hell, JLR is on a non-compete. Get him on to promo his wrestling." I would love to have Jeffrey on anytime, but if you guys know where I came from, I don't think it would fly over very well if Jeffrey LaRoque were to go do another show, even if it was mine. I don't think it would fly very well. So, just the nature of the beast there. So, Mark puts in a comment. He says, "Love you, Mikey," with some hearts. JB goes on to comment about last night. I had mentioned that I thought the chat maybe, I didn't blame the chat for Mikey, but I said they had been pretty tough on him, and I think they would admit, whether it's tough love or not, they had been kind of tough on Mikey at times. Whether it was real or not real, but telling the truth or not, it still was. It can be a little hard to hear sometimes. And that was kind of more of my point. Brap came on today. He came in hot saying I was yelling at people last night. I was not yelling at anybody. Yelling is yelling. I wasn't yelling. I made it a point to say, I'm not saying that I think that this, I think I was actually kind of conjecting what I think maybe Mikey was conjecture? I don't know, whatever, guessing what Mikey might have been feeling, because I even said, my mom came over today and she kind of said that Mikey, right at the end of the show, I guess on his last night here, he had kind of looked down and he read something in the comment and he had said something under his breath. So again, I wasn't blaming you guys. I think it was just part of what he, part of what turned him off from wanting to do the show. It was just a little bit too much to deal with, some of the instant feedback. And JB said, the chat's cruel on Mikey, for real. It pisses me off. Can't vibe anymore. Hope you feel better, Mikey, 100. So that's JB saying it. I'm not yelling at anybody. And Kenobi Boy goes on to say, it's a clean cut dumb regarding the Mikey departing. And then I see yesterday, when I made my comment about the show starting late and saying that we weren't doing a gaming show, Brap says, "No gaming? Shocker. Boy, that guy's got a real fucking bug up his ass lately, huh?" Unbelievable, man. My God. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, so there's that. And I did get an email here. Couple comments here. One of them's from Kyle, and it actually kind of says something similar and I'm going to save it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Because it's actually a good idea that Kyle sent in, so that's something I might consider doing here, Kyle. So it is in kind of in the same vein of what we talked about, or what I was just talking about before, with potential other people popping in for an episode or two. So this is an email from Jenna Ortega. Are you serious? We just talked about Jenna Ortega last night, and now we're getting emails from her? Shit, the show caught the algorithm. Hell yeah, guys, we're blown up. Anyway, it starts off with, hey, I'd like to be anonymous. All right, Jenna Ortega. It says, I'm writing this email because I agree with Dom what he said about the chat being ruthless. I don't think I said ruthless. I don't think I used that word. I said that they can be tough a little bit sometimes. And Jenna goes on to say, basically, if you have a differing opinion than a couple of people in the chat, you are ostracized and treated like shit. It's a huge clique, and you're either in it or you're not. Much like a lunch table, like Dom said. It's like middle school, and it's disgusting. If you don't fit their mold, you're out. I'm not sure if that's how you wanted shit, Dom, but that's how it is. I've never seen a group of people with ugly behavior tolerated so much, and no one calls them out, ever. And this, Jenna goes on to say, I'm here to remind a few of you, your shit don't stink. You aren't God, and not everyone worships the ground you walk on. You all need to do better, treat people better, and realize not everyone is going to conform to your mold. For a bunch of grown adults, it's actually weird how much they act like middle schoolers. This is an outsider's opinion, obviously, and won't be tolerated well, I'm sure. Love the show, Dom, and I support you always. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, you're going to piss off some people, Jenna Ortega. I can understand why you wanted to be anonymous. Chat's not going to like that. Jenna goes on to say, I obviously made a fake email to write that email. I'm obviously not Jenna Ortega. Damn. Thought we had Jenna Ortega listening. Son of a bitch. This close, guys. Thought we caught it. So anyway, guys, where am I at here? So speaking of Jenna Ortega, actually, wait a minute. Hold on. Where did I leave off with that? That was it. So that was the last email. So some people a little frustrated with the chat. But again, it is what it is. I'm not going to tell people how to act. They're all adults. It's not my job to tell people how to act or how not to act. I can only make suggestions and all that good stuff. So again, not my place to tell people in the chat how to act. They are adults. They can act however they like. I'll just read their comments and we'll go from there. So now, speaking of Jenna Ortega, we talked about her last night, right? And there's a, hold on one sec. I'm trying to organize my stuff here. I bumped something and I got everything all screwy over here. Anyway, here we go. All right, so last night we talked about Jenna Ortega and she's an actress. She's in The Addams Family. She's in, I can't remember whatever other big thing she was in. Scream, and I think something else big too. Anyway, so a little quick update. I'm not going to spend all night on this whole story again, but we talked again about the movie Miller's Girl, where Jenna Ortega has the sex scene with Martin Freeman, who is 31 years older than her. The internet has been calling it disgusting, essentially insinuating that either like a director or the actor or some other male in charge was like forcing Jenna to do this, which there's no claims of that, nothing. It's totally, that's just the internet being weird because of the age difference. Well, Jenna Ortega and the Miller's Girl intimacy coordinator, because on all these sets now, they don't just have an actor and an actress and a director and everybody in the room watching anymore when they do these intimacy scenes. They have actual coordinators who are deciding who's going to be on set, how they're actually going to touch each other, what the boundaries are, blah, 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 blah. Which actually, probably not a bad idea, to tell you the truth. I mean, because you are putting two people in kind of a weird situation. It's good for the guy and good for the girl because the guy knows how far he's allowed to go in the scene without making the girl uncomfortable, and because you don't want to make your coworker uncomfortable or just a woman in general uncomfortable. It's fucking weird. So it's a good thing because it helps the guy in that case, and then of course it protects the woman, and then vice versa. Well, some guy might, like we just had that guy we talked about last night who doesn't do kissing scenes, Neil McDonough or whatever his name is, the guy that was on Yellowstone. He doesn't do any kissing scenes or sex scenes or anything like that. So he would be very uncomfortable if an actress just grabbed his junk or started kissing him or whatever. So the intimacy coordinator could help the guy be protected as well. So not a bad idea they have these intimacy coordinators anyway. Um, but so the intimacy coordinators come out doing damage control because the internet, is puking all over about this movie. And here's what they said: Christian or she, they, whatever, Christina Arjona. She let everybody know that the co-stars were, quote, comfortable when filming. Quote, there were many, many people throughout this process engaging with Jenna to make sure that it was consistent with what she was comfortable with. And she was very determined and very sure of what she wanted to do, Arjona told the Daily Mail. Arjona adds that part of the role of an intimacy coordinator is to support her actors' quote, decisions and, quote, adapt to whatever is the comfort level of my actors, especially on a production like this where there is a large age gap between the actors. Arjona went on to say, I'm hyper aware of both of my talent and making sure that we're consistently checking in and that at no point are any of their boundaries being surpassed. And even more so, then reiterates even farther, even with the larger age gap, again, making sure, especially with someone who's significantly younger, that they are giving continuous consent, she added. So Jenna gave her consent, obviously. So internet, quit fucking whining. There's multiple people involved, knowing that she's involved with it. It's not gross. She's into the scene. It's okay. Not into the scene. Well, I don't know. Maybe she was into it because I totally forgot that Jenna Ortega was also in another movie that was actually very hot in some scenes and very terrible in the rest of the scenes. So that movie X, which was where like a small time little porno production, just like a group of like 6 people or whatever, go to like this farmhouse to shoot a little porno. And then it's like a whole terrible horror movie where they all end up getting, if you haven't seen it, sorry, I'm going to spoil it for you. Turn it off if you haven't seen X and you're planning on seeing X. But anyway, there's like some, it's a horror film. Figure Texas Chainsaw Massacre type horror film, but way worse and not a cool villain. Worst villain ever, probably, to tell you the truth. Pretty shit movie. But the reason I bring it up is because in that movie, Jenna Ortega, who was 19 years old at the time, does a sex scene with Kid Cudi. Ohio guy, what's up, Kid Cudi? Represent. Kid Cudi does a sex scene with Jenna Ortega. Okay? She's 19, he's 37. So she's got a history of doing this shit. So didn't I mention last night there are just some younger girls who are into the older guys? So I don't know what to tell you. That's all there is to it. And it seems like it might be just that simple now that she's on to another movie doing sex scenes with older guys. So I think she might be comfortable with it. So internet, go fuck yourself. And another bit of internet that can go fuck itself. Here's a good story. Another little quick update. I don't know if you guys remember this story. Here is this picture. It should help you guys remember. You guys remember this kid? This is, his name is Holden Armenta. He's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Remember, he went viral after a Deadspin reporter claimed that this kid wore blackface to a Chiefs versus Raiders game earlier this season. What's his name? Deadspin reporter. What is this guy's name? Karen. That sounds like a woman's name, Karen, but it's Carron. Karen Phillips wrote this article. And actually, this is the headline that he wrote in Deadspin. It says, the NFL needs to speak out against the Kansas City Chiefs fan in blackface, native headdress. They're doubling up on the racism. Are you going to say anything, Roger Goodell? What a fucking jerk off. So that guy, obviously, he wrote that not knowing then. So here, actually, if we went on to then see later on, as the game progressed, there were more shots of this kid. Here is actually the shot that actually caused everything to kind of go to shit for this poor Karen J. Not poor, for this dipshit Karen J. Phillips guy. Eventually, they got to a point in the cameras. Well, this is a live shot from the kid, but they did get an actual, because I can't show the football game, but they did get an actual shot of what the kid looks like and how he was dressed. Here it is. There he is. As you can see, he's wearing. Oh, hold on one second. I hit the wrong button. My bad. As you can see right there, that's what I was trying to freeze it on. Is right there. You can see both sides of his face at this point. He is. See, there he is. So he's got both sides painted. Just being a football fan. Anyway, so I'm bringing this up because this family has decided to sue Deadspin for defamation. Let's see. And by the way, that kid ended up turning out to be Native American after all, which is, so if he wants to wear the headdress, he can get away with that. But the family's now suing Deadspin for defamation after they were, quote, branded racist by Karen Phillips. They say the article falsely alleged that Holden Armenta, the young fan, had, quote, found a way to hate black people and the Native Americans at the same time, the lawsuit says. Quote, it alleged that Holden's parents, Shannon and Raul, taught HA racism and hate at home, and that it intentionally painted a picture of the Armenta family as anti-black, anti-Native American bigots anti-black, anti-Native American bigots who proudly engaged in the worst kind of racist conduct motivated by their family's hatred for black and Native Americans. Ooh, that's a mouthful right there. The family is also asking to be given all costs, disbursements, fees, and interest as authorized by law, claiming they were maliciously and wantonly attacked their 9-year-old boy and his parents. So, and they go on to say that this was all done because of Karen Phillips' race-drenched political agenda. So the family goes on. They also apparently got a bunch of abusive messages after all this went public or went viral or whatever. So now, I mean, I guess Deadspin, they did try to apologize back in December about it. But they actually claimed that the piece was designed to point out the NFL's history of racism. Right. You weren't literally pointing the finger at a little boy. Get the fuck out of here. This guy is going to pay for it. I don't even know if he still works for them. I don't know if they fired him or not. I haven't seen anything saying they fired him, but I imagine they probably will fire him after they end up having to either settle with this family out of court, or if they do end up taking it to court, I have a feeling they're going to lose. And they're going to, I mean, it is free speech, though. Is he allowed to have that opinion? I mean, maybe if they did take it to court, the guy might have a valid case. He only saw half a face and thought it was blackface. And he does have the right to have an opinion about something. So, I don't know. That's a tough one there. Even though his opinion was wrong, isn't he allowed to have an opinion? Did he technically point out and defame the kid directly? Just by pointing out the picture of him? That's a tough one there. I'm no attorney. The NFL. I'm reading the headline again. The NFL needs to speak out against the Kansas City Chiefs fan in blackface, native headdress. Now it doesn't say. All it does is accuse the guy of being in blackface. I guess maybe that's enough to feel like you've been defamed. So yeah, I guess I would feel like I was being defamed if somebody said I was in blackface and I wasn't. So okay, well, understandable. So yeah, you can have free speech, but there are consequences for it. So, all right, let's see here. All right, I am a wedding DJ, obviously, and I have a story here. It kind of freaked me out because it reminded me of something that I went through. Being a wedding DJ, I have to do some unique things sometimes to try to make, not unique, I guess, they're actually pretty cliche, but a lot of times couples will ask to do these things called a sparkler send-off, right? Oh, by the way, if you need a DJ for any event, wedding, whatever, photo booth, parties, go to clevelandreception.com. I'll try not to bite my tongue like I just did when I'm DJing your wedding. Man, that hurt. Damn. Anyway, clevelandreception.com if you're looking for a DJ. But anyway, so back to this story I can relate to. I've been in a situation similar to this guy I'm about to talk about. There's a wedding planner in Indonesia. He's been sentenced to 2.5 years in jail in order to pay back $220,000 in restitution. This was all after he coordinated a photo shoot on, I swear to God, this is the name of the place in Indonesia, Teletubby Hill. I swear to God, that's what it's called, Teletubby Hill. Anyway, so this coordinator's got a couple there. This wedding coordinator's got a couple running down a hill, trying to take some pictures. The photographer's there with them. The wedding coordinator has a brilliant idea to get a beautiful picture on Teletubby Hill where, oh, here, I'll show you the picture. Here is the picture from Teletubby Hill. Now, if you notice, Teletubby Hill is a little brown and kind of not green. Looks a little dry. Now, I don't know if you know much about dry stuff. You usually don't want to have sparks around it. Maybe they don't have Smokey the Bear in Indonesia. I don't know. But just what I'm looking at right here, that's a bad scene. And the reason it actually, and I'm not just guessing here, I do know what ended up happening. Those flares that they fired, if you can kind of notice off to the right there, kind of at the, where are my fingers going? Kind of in this very part. God, it's so hard to point when you're backwards. Right there, kind of on this side of the screen. You can almost see it starting to ignite off to the right of the screen, like that weird kind of darker greenish, bluish spot. Like you can see that's a thick part of smoke where it's starting to ignite. Well, this ended up burning everything you see there, burnt behind them. There was a huge, massive wildfire that just burned up hectares of land. I don't know how big a hectare is. Lots of hectares got burnt. I love that word, hectare. I don't know why. Such a cool word, hectare. Anyway, a bunch of hectares got burnt. But I'm a little conflicted about this one, but because for a couple reasons. One, who lit the flares off? It might have been the wedding planner's idea, but did the wedding planner actually physically light the flares? I think whoever lit the fucking flares is really like the most, like that's the person who's at fault here. Not just the guy who had the idea to do it. No, it was the person who said, because in the end, somebody should have said, whoa, whoa, whoa. The person lighting it literally should have said, you know what? This is some pretty fucking dry ass shit we're walking on here. This is just going to light the fuck up. So maybe we don't like this. So I think I'm going to just, whoever lit it, and it doesn't say who lit it. Doesn't say it was the wedding coordinator. Doesn't say it was a couple. But I have a feeling it was probably the couple holding them and the wedding guy walking up and lighting them. You know what I mean? And the reason I say this is because, and the reason I can kind of relate to this story, and the reason why I'm in hindsight, I actually, for once, made a good decision. So I have to do these, at weddings, I have to do these things called sparkler send-offs. Hold on, let me wipe my nose. Excuse me, sorry about that. I have to do these things called sparkler send-offs. And sometimes people even fake them, which is, hey, whatever floats your boat. Where they'll do it early because the photographer has to leave early and the photographer's not staying until the end of the night, because that's what the sparkler send-off is supposed to be. It's supposed to be at the end of the night when all the music's ending. Everybody lines up outside along like a walkway, and they all light sparklers and create like a tunnel that the bride and groom walk through, and then they take the photographer takes a picture of it. I'm sure, well, let me see. Is there a sparkler send-off? Let's see a picture of one. Here's a perfect one. Here's a really good one. This is exactly what they end up looking like. They're pretty cool when they work out. You know what I mean? You got everybody with their things. You get a really cool picture in there. They're actually pretty cool when they do them. Now, I had a situation where everybody got lined up. A girl came up to me with two people came up to me. One came up carrying a bundle of sparklers, and the other one came up with lighters and said, "Hey, do you want to?" And this was at one of them. I've done a bunch of them, but at one of them in particular, I remember this one for an obvious reason. And they asked if I would light the sparklers, and I said, "Ah, I actually am not comfortable lighting sparklers because if for some reason somebody drops one and it starts a fire, I could potentially be the person who gets in trouble for it, and I just don't want to have anything to do with it. So I'll get everybody organized and lined up. And you guys handle the sparkler and the fire situation part of it." And sure enough, not 30 seconds after I said that, the girl holding the sparklers, she was holding them in a big bundle, like figure, 25 sparklers all bundled up into one. And they aren't the little tiny short sparklers you would get when you were a kid with the little thin layer of all that guck on the because you have the metal wire, and then there's the sparkler part around the outside of it, kind of like a corn dog, but real thin. Okay, well, imagine a corn dog. Actually, think of like a pussy willow. You know what I'm saying? So they're real long, and then they got the fat, hot kind of pussy willow part, and then the real thin part at the bottom. So it's like a extra long, thick sparkler. She had a big bundle of these. And I'm not shitting you. 30 seconds after I said I don't want to light it, somebody else walked up and lit it. This fucking thing went, and this, I'm not kidding you, it was the biggest flare of, it was a ball of flare. Like all that magnesium that's in the sparklers that makes them sparkle and do that, just went at once. And this poor girl, she had a dress on that had an open, like a big V-neck kind of swooping, like almost not a V-neck, but like a square thing to where this whole area was open right here. And it just scorched her whole chest. Like immediately her chest started bubbling up. They had to call an ambulance. And it didn't even, this one actually was at the end of the night. So it was like, it didn't really, thankfully it didn't, I hate to say it, didn't ruin the party. It was at the end of the night. So I made a good choice on that one, not getting involved in that situation. I actually, I try to be careful. Like I tape all my damn wires down and shit. That's one of the things I worry about the most. Somebody tripping over a fucking wire and breaking their arm or something. And I got all my equipment just to pay for this fucking arm being broken or something. The whole business is gone. But anyway, you just worry about that kind of shit. So glad I didn't end up like that poor dude, paying out $220,000 and doing 2.5 years in jail just because you're doing your job, trying to make a day special for your couple. So, and it wasn't even the wedding day. This was just them like leading up to it with, doing like some sort of like, probably looked like engagement photos or whatever. Okay, let's see here. Who's Scott 78 said, "That's crazy. People can't do anything these days." I think he's going back to I don't know if he's going back to which story he's going back to. I think he might be talking about the blackface one. I'm not exactly sure. Vanilla Charlie says, "Dumb, what is the most unique thing you've done while DJing a wedding?" Oh, the most unique thing. I would say it's unique in the sense because we don't do it here, but it's popular around the world or in other countries. But here, I DJ'd, I think it was an Albanian wedding, and the bride and groom and the bridal party and a bunch of members of their family left the reception for a little bit to go change clothes and put on like traditional Albanian outfits, which were very, European, think lederhosen, but very different kind of look. And then they came out. I played these special songs for them that they had given me, and they like danced in a circle. And I'm not shitting you. People started throwing money on the floor, and when I say money, I mean thousands and thousands of dollars ended up on this floor. There were there were $100 bills all over when I say like all like in the circle too, we're talking about like a circle of like 20 people, two people dancing in the middle, the bride and the groom, and then all in that whole open area, not an open spot of floor, just all cash covering the floor, not an open spot. You can see the whole thing. You couldn't see one bit of floor. That was how much cash there was. So that was pretty unique. I would say another one is where I did like a tag team wedding with a I think it was Slovenian maybe artist, where he would play live for a little bit, and then for the ethnic family, like it was a mixed marriage, like an American marrying both Americans, but like one family very ethnic, one generation over from like Slovenia or whatever. So he would play all this music, all this kind of crazy European stuff with this keyboard and whatnot. And it was actually really cool and a lot of fun. And then he'd stop, and then I'd take over for a little bit and play some, American music for the Americans to dance to. So yeah, I would say it was something like that. That stuff was probably some of the most unique stuff I've done. So, and Crystal said they did that at her cousin's wedding, married to someone who's Greek. Yeah, I think that, like I said, I think it's common around the world. We just don't really do that much here. So when we did it here, it was pretty unique for me. It was pretty fucking cool, actually. Crystal said the brother came out with a stack of cash to throw at them. So, all right, here. So let's see. We talked about the guy getting burnt. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about this story. I'm kind of getting a little fed up with something here right now. You guys know I'm pretty, I don't know, I'm not like a bleeding heart liberal, and I'm not a right-wing conservative or anything. I'm pretty down the middle, leaning a little more to the left. Really kind of get like women have their rights, all that kind of stuff. I try to, I lean pretty left on social issues. Don't give a shit if you're gay. Don't give a shit if you're trans. Until now. I am over these trans women or trans men. I don't even know how to say it. People who are born biological males who have transitioned or are transitioning to become a woman, participating in women's sports. Right now, there's a story. This is crazy. There were, let's see, men identifying as women take 5 starting positions on 2 female college volleyball teams. So that's a little confusing, that sentence, but if you think about it like this. You got, what, 10 players on a volleyball court, right? 5 on each side. Well, they had 3 trans athletes playing for one side and 2 playing for the other side. This was the Seneca Sting and the Centennial Colts back on January 24th. This is in Canada at a college, in a college game. I'm kind of getting, it's hard to stay on the trans train when we're dealing with so many fakers at this point who are taking advantage of it, and it makes we're starting to get to the point where there's only a few good apples and it seems like lots of bad apples. You know what I mean? Because they say it's like one bad apple will spoil the bunch. It seems like there's a lot of bad apples spoiling the smaller good apple at this point, because I feel like there are not a ton of trans people. There probably aren't. I really don't think it's a huge part of the population. I'm starting to feel like there are more people becoming trans just for the sake of being athletes than they are just for the sake of their own personal needs or whatever. I mean, this shit's getting out of control. And honestly, like, even if they aren't faking this for the sake of like trying to be better athletes or whatever, it's just not fucking fair. It's not fair to women who are born, or people who are born biologically as a woman. There's a physical advantage, obviously, that everybody talks about. But one we don't really talk about probably is the mental advantage that these trans athletes have over these female athletes. Because just imagine you're a girl, you work out, you work out, you're in good shape, you do your best to be a great athlete. You're a college athlete playing volleyball, and you think you're able to, you're gung ho. You're gonna take all these bitches on. You're ready. You can go spike it on some bitches. You're gonna bump set, spike these bitches in the next week, right? And then you walk out there to practice, even on your own team, and you realize you have to face dudes. So that's got to be intimidating. I mean, it has to be. And I understand volleyball isn't necessarily a contact sport, but there is contact happening. I think there was just a story too, like a couple girls, 2 female players were actually injured, suffering concussions in 2 incidents with trans women. So if I had to guess, one of these trans women went up and fucking bam, spiked that shit, fucking Spalding tattooed this poor woman on the ground who's just trying to block and save her life, and ends up taking one off the face. Probably didn't have time to get her hands up because she's reaction time is slower than the guy who's blasting the ball down at her. So hold on, I think I have a video. I think there's this, they're called the Rebel News. The Rebel News went, which is some Canadian website. They went to the game, and it was, I haven't seen the video yet. I played part of it, and I was like, oh, 844 hit Dumb, by the way, 844-448-3862. I read part of the transcripts of this video, and it made me laugh out loud. So I'm going to play this, and we'll see how funny it is. Hang on.
Example of transanity to the power of 5, quite literally. We were tipped off that this female volleyball game that we witnessed earlier featured not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 men pretending to be females. 3 were on Seneca, 2 were on Centennial. Gee, can you imagine which side won? Not only that, the male players were always on the court. So you had biological female substitutes just sitting on the bench for the entire game.
Here's another egregious thing about...
I gotta tell you, they didn't look very miserable. Those girls look like they were having the fucking time of their life just sitting over there.
Game. Here's another...
They look like they're having fun. They're smiling. I don't think they gave 2 shits.
Always on
They're
the
like,
court. So you had
right.
biological female substitutes just sitting on the bench for the entire game.
Here's another egregious thing about allowing biological men to compete on the female varsity team.
Normally, I'm all for this shot right here when I'm watching a volleyball game. That's usually the ones you're looking for, those shots right there. Scott78 says they are not dudes, they're female now, and they have the right to feel like a girl. I agree with the ones that aren't being fakers, Scott, but I'm starting to feel like we are getting, and that's why I said I'm all for trans people who are legit trans. I'm starting to feel like we're getting too many people who are willing to sacrifice their gender in order to be better in sports. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but I feel like it's starting to happen more frequently. Frankly, it's just not fair to the chicks. It's not fair to the girls who were born biological females. It just isn't.
To compete on the female varsity team. Some of these women are getting scholarships in which to play volleyball, i.e. they are using this sport to pay for their tuition. When a guy gets on the team in place of a female, that benefit is negated. Also, folks, we couldn't help but notice the perverse irony when we read the mission statement of Centennial. For example, in part, it reads values: integrity, passion, growth, family, equity, diversity.
Equity.
I'm sorry, but if you think that allowing men to get a spot on the female team is an example of integrity, equity, and diversity, you're dead wrong.
Well,
all it really is
definitely diversity.
Is garden variety misogyny. Folks,
example.
Misogyny. Is it misogyny? It's not. It's just unfair. That's the new word that's getting thrown around. But Um, I, I mean, I guess if we're calling it misogynistic, that means that the trans people are intentionally doing it to try to harm women. No, it's not. Because I would assume that's like misogyny is intentional. I believe it's defined misogynistic. All right, misogynistic, strongly prejudiced against women. Okay, so obviously that means it would be intentional then. So, well, I guess it is prejudicial against women if we're going to use the word prejudice as a woman, as the definition of misogynistic. So I guess it is misogynistic in that sense, but I look at that more as an intentional thing where they're doing it intentionally to try to screw over women. I don't think anybody's intentionally trying to screw over women. It's just a byproduct of the woke world we're living in where you can't, we just need another, at this point, honestly, there needs to just be a third league. I mean, if there are this many trans people to where we had half of the court being trans people against, 5 trans people, trans athletes versus 5 naturally biologically born women, then you got enough people to create your own division. We got the natural born women, natural born men, and then we can have everybody else in between. No matter whatever you think you are, man, woman, dog, cat, fucking My Little Pony, whatever the fuck you think you are, then you play in that league. It's just kind of silly. Let's see here. Average Savage says, I play co-ed volleyball 5 days a week. I get spiked in the face at least once a week, so I don't feel bad. They should work harder and be better. Playing all women's is boring and sucks. Diana says, oh my Lord, I was just bitching about having to hear this again on the other show. I come here and it's on again. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. This is just how I feel about this. I'm just kind of over it. This story actually just kind of, I'm just kind of finally over it. I don't know what else to say. And you guys know, I mean, I've made it very clear I'm cool with trans people. You want to fucking walk around, you want to cut your junk off and say you're a chick? Go right the fuck ahead. You want to cut your hooters off and put a Johnson on? Go right ahead. I don't give a shit. But you just kind of lose some, you're going to end up losing some rights, sadly. I know that sounds horrible, but maybe not rights. You're going to lose some opportunities. Because, you've made this decision. I know that's unfair technically, but it should be unfair to you and not unfair to the other people who you're going to be affecting. If you're a man going, or a trans man or woman or whatever, trans athlete going up against, inferior competition, it's just not right. It's just not fair. I know I'm not a woman, and why should I give a shit? Because I'm not a woman, but I just don't think it's just right. It's just not right. I'm not a huge fan of it. So we'll see what happens. And as a woman, I would think that more women would be upset about this. It's literally taking opportunities away from women. You guys have been fighting for more opportunities for years. So the fact that you're having opportunities taken away from you by a dude or somebody who used to be a dude, sorry, it's surprising to me. It's surprising. So. All right, guys. Second hour is always happy hour here on Another Dumb Show. We are going to take a quick break. If you've not already taken a second to hit the thumbs up on tonight's video, I would greatly appreciate it if you did that. The trolls have been in here hitting the thumbs down. So make sure that you guys, all of you who actually like the show, if you're not usually hitting the thumbs up, take a second to hit the thumbs up for a brother. That way we're getting those nice high percentages on those thumbs up. And not just the dickheads hitting the thumbs down just to be a dick. So I would greatly appreciate it if you guys did that. So second hour, like I said, always happy hour here. So get your drinky drink, get your mokey moke. If you got your kids here, go tell them put them in the other room, get a volleyball, spike that shit right in their fucking face and say, bam! How does it feel? Now you look like those girls in that fucking college up there, bitch. And you slam the fucking door, you drink and you smoke. So, all right, guys, we'll be right back on another dumb show. Sit tight. Hang on.
And I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. There's some movement. There's been a response from the, oh my God. There's been a response from the opposition, but yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas.
Yeah.
But
Hamas,
it seems to be a little over the top. We're not sure where it is. There's continuing to go.
All right, so I came back to this with Biden there because that was him yesterday forgetting the name of Hamas, or yesterday, the day before. I can't remember what. I think it might have been the day before yesterday. I had this yesterday to play. Welcome back to Another Dumb Show, by the way. I'm Another Dumb Show host. Thank you for joining us on issue number 177. Quickly, Angelina asked, did Dan make this? I love it. That's referring to the rejoin that just played. No, that is from almost all the rejoins. Well, let's see. The break music, if you're referring to the break music, that was Dan, the sound man, who was on ADS 1.0. But that you just heard, the music that came when we came back from break, it's called a rejoin. I guess that's at least what I've been taught that we call it, because we're rejoining after break. That is a band called Tiger Blood Jewel. It's a silly name, but all those beats that we come back to are all from them, Tiger Blood Jewel. But anyway, so there you go. Somebody who could use some tiger blood. There's some of the what is that? Charlie Sheen juice, tiger blood. Is Joe Biden. That dude could definitely use some tiger blood. So we're heading into the election season. Everything's starting to really ramp up at this point. Today there was the report came out, the findings, whether or not Joe Biden was going to be charged with criminal, or if he was going to face criminal charges for having classified documents in his garage in Delaware. Can't make this shit up. There were no criminal charges today being filed against Joe Biden even though he willingly retained and disclosed classified info. Like literally, I was saying this dope had classified information, like stuff about Afghanistan and all this other stuff, 50 years worth of documents basically, because this guy's been in politics for 50 years. We've been stealing documents for the whole time. He just had these literally lying around in his fucking garage, just in boxes, just sitting in his garage. So he's not going to face any criminal charges for that, which is fucking weird, to be quite honest with you. I do think that is very weird, even though he willingly cooperated and I guess didn't fight back like Trump did and everything. Very shady that he's not going to face any kind of charges for that. But he is going to face, as they say, the court of public opinion. This guy's not fit for office at this point, right? I mean, based on this, wait till you hear what came out in this report today. So the guy who was in charge of determining whether or not Biden should face charges is a special counsel. His name is Robert Hur. So he suggested one of the reasons why they shouldn't have criminal charges against Biden is because he suggested that jurors would not hold Biden liable for his actions on account of his perceived mental decline. So, Her goes on to say, at trial, Mr. Biden would likely present himself to a jury, as he did during our interview of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory. This is according to the report. Supposedly, when Biden sat down for questions with Her's investigators on October 8th and 9th, he presented himself as confused on many points. Even though the White House has maintained that, he's fine. Nothing wrong with him. Perfectly fit for office. Got no issues. Despite all that, Biden, quote, did not remember when he was vice president, forgetting on the first day of the interview when his term ended. He said, if it was 2013, when did I stop being president? And he also forgot on the second day of the interview when his term began, saying, in 2009, am I still vice president? He, quote, he did not remember even within several years of when his son Beau died, which was actually in May of 2015. So he was off by several years of what year his son died. And then supposedly his memory, there's some Afghanistan debate that Joe Biden, held so importantly, I guess, to him. He supposedly had hazy details about that. So I don't know enough about that to talk about that. But but again, just the little things like that. They're just more and more. We have somebody who is a part of the Department of Justice coming out at this point and saying that our current president is essentially unfit for office because he's an elderly old man with a bad memory. And so he's going to be, 82 if he were to win, which means by the time he's done with his term, he'll be 86, which is almost 90 fucking years old. Who the fuck can he relate to with that? Ugh, fucking ridiculous. I got to be honest with you. I'm starting to have zero intention of voting for this dude at this point. I just don't like that he's the only option we're even being given. It's almost like a point of the fact that there's just nobody. I know there's like this Dean Phillips dude running against him, and I just saw the lady who was running against him dropped out. But it's almost like I'm going to put my foot down and I'm not going to vote for any Democrat because you're only giving me one that I want nothing to do with. He sucks. He just sucks. And people say like he fixed the economy or whatever. How's the economy fixed? Is inflation plummeting? Everything is fucking super expensive. I was just talking the other day, or not talking. I was looking the other day when I first started getting my Starbucks drink that I don't get anymore because I can't fucking afford it. But when I would first get this drink that I used to get from Starbucks, it was this, and it was still expensive when I got it. So I don't want to hear about it. But it was, it used to be $5.50. That was like, I don't know, 4 years ago when I was getting that. It's $7.50 now. It's $2 more. And it's like what, like 30 some percent or more? I don't know if I do the math on that, but it's more than that. It's almost half. Over half, right? No, just under half. $2 more, $5.50. So just under, yeah, so like 30 some percent, right? So again, I'm no economy expert, nothing. But I got to tell you, I feel like when Trump was in office, I was doing better financially than I am doing now. Granted, well, no, because I make more money DoorDash and stuff than I did working on the show. And doing this, I actually made more money doing on the show, other than RMG Plus money. But so I don't know if it's situational or whatever, but I don't know. I just felt like when, and again, I'm not a Trump guy. I'm not a MAGA dude by any means. I lean left, but this whole thing is just starting to get a little shady. Like I find it a little strange that Biden's not going to face any charges right now. But in fact, here's our old Trump. He came out today. And he actually had a comment about this. He posted on Truth Social right after the ruling came down on Biden. Here is what Trump had to say. This is from Truth Social. A statement by Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States, said, "This is now, where we go? This is now proven to be a two-tiered system of justice and unconstitutional selective prosecution. The Biden documents case is 100 times different and more severe than mine. I did nothing wrong, and I cooperated far more. What Biden did is outrageously criminal. He had 50 years of documents, 50 times more than I had, and, quote, willfully retained them. I was covered by the Presidential Records Act. Secret Service was always around. And GSA delivered the documents. Deranged Jack Smith should drop this case immediately. Election interference." No, dude, you did the same thing as him. So how is it election interference? Oh, because I guess they're going to prosecute you, but not him. Oh, you've not been prosecuted yet. They just want you just want them to drop the case now? Just outright? You not remember you had him, didn't you have him hiding in your bathroom, dude? He had records sitting in your bathroom at Mar-a-Lago and didn't you have people try to flush him allegedly? Wasn't that what so I don't think he cooperated. Secret ADS Mod is asking me, did I see the stuff about Trump and Kim Jong-un? No, I did not see that. I'll have to see what that is. Vanilla Charlie says, another dumb show for president. Thank you. But I got to say, I'm not happy with Trump either. This bullshit that's going on with the fucking border that we got going on right now. They just passed that border bill, or they just passed the bill that was supposed to include stuff to secure the border, and also help Ukraine and Israel aid them. And then the Republicans come along, Mitch McConnell and his little fucking group of dick faces, come along and take the border portion out of the bill because they said it gives Biden too much open border policy. How about we literally have something happen? But the reason, well, hold on, let me back up. So they kill the bill as far as having any kind of border stuff in it. Why do they take the border stuff out of it? Well, the Republicans, they say to themselves, well, if we actually do put the border thing into effect and it actually works and it slows down this absolute ridiculous influx we have of whatever you call them now, migrants, illegal aliens, whatever the fuck they're called now, with this fucking massive influx that we have of them at this point. Hold on, I saw something there and I lost my train of thought. Anyway, these migrants coming across. Trump, where'd I go with that? Hold on. See, I got something stupid. I saw a comment. I saw I had another dumb show for president. Now I feel like Joe Biden. This is why I couldn't be president. I got the mind of Joe Biden at 46 years old, so I could never be president. But anyway, the whole border thing out of the way, regardless of where I left off, it's just getting out of hand. There's too many people coming across at this point. We need something to be done about it. Oh, the border bill. That's what I was saying. The reason why they took the border portion out of that bill is because if it gets fixed while Biden is in office, that's going to help his chances in the election. If it doesn't get fixed while he's in office, it's going to help Trump's chance for election. So the Republicans say, well, we'd rather have Trump in, so maybe we'll just sit through another, 9 months to a year of this massive migrant, illegal alien, or whatever fucking influx we have. We'll just sit through that for the next year until we get Trump in office. Then we'll pass a bill and we'll let him look like he's the one who fixed it. That is the most ridiculous fucking shit in the whole world. It's so obvious. Nobody fucking cares. Nothing's going to do about it. Like, it's garbage. They're both suck. This two-party system absolutely fucking sucks. And then you have the third-party guy, RFK Jr., who's a fucking vaccine denier and thinks that the vaccine was created to exclude Jews from it. I mean, it's just insanity, some of the stuff that we're dealing with right now. We got Trump, who is just a nut. Sorry, I mean, he's crazy in his own way. And then we have Biden, who's just completely I don't know if he's senile or got dementia, or he's gotten so old that he's slowed down. His mental acuity has dropped so much. But I got to tell you, I don't need to be either of the three of them to figure out this fucking border thing at this point. There was some guy who think I has the right idea. I saw some dude. He got arrested. He was plotting to go to the border and just start sniping these people coming across. Just start capping them and laying them down. I'm gonna be honest with you. The amount of people we have coming in right now, let's just start laying them down. I mean, seriously, forget the sniper. Bust out one of those Call of Duty LMGs and just start laying down some 50 cals, whether you put it at their feet or I tell you what you do? You just hit the first front wave of people that are coming through because they're coming in waves, right? You got the first line, the second line, third line coming through in a fucking wave. You just fucking 50 cal those motherfuckers. Just take a chopper. Get a chopper and just go. That whole first row of people just gone. I don't care what it is. I don't care who's in the front. If you're in the front row, you're done. You're wiped out. And I guarantee you, many of the people in row 2, row 3, and row 4 are going to see that and go, well, you know what? Mexico ain't so bad after all. We got a nice, I heard Punta Cana is pretty sweet, right? Is that in Mexico? Or is that Dominican Republic? Whatever the, Playa del Riviera or whatever. Whatever the fuck the place is, I stayed in Mexico. It's beautiful. Go there. You know what I'm saying? Somebody shoots fucking 50 cal bullets at me, I'd say, you know what? There's this line I could go across and get shot, or there's this line I could stay behind and just kind of figure out how I can make it work here. I think I'll go for that one. Here's what, like they say, well, they're all coming here because of the cartel or other governments oppressing them or whatever. Well, you know what? We pick your battle. You can face our giant 50 calibers that are just blasting you at the border, or you can go face whatever you got to face there. It ain't our problem. Pick your fucking battles. We got our own shit to deal with here. We got plenty of kids that don't eat in the United States. Got plenty of poverty here. We got plenty of our own problems. I drive all day long. I should start keeping track of the amount of homeless people I see on the side of the road. Saw the craziest thing not craziest, but first time ever, I saw a homeless little person the other day. Never seen a little person homeless before. But I saw a little homeless guy. I felt real bad for him. I actually gave money to a homeless person the other day. I never, ever, ever do it. But it was raining. And there was I've given a jacket to a homeless guy before. I had this jacket that was like 2 sizes too big from when I was a 400-pound piece of garbage and I lost all this weight. It was cold. And so I saw this homeless guy. So I put it in my car and said, the next time I see this dude, one of these dudes, any of these homeless dudes, I'm going to give him my jacket. And I did. Gave him my jacket. Never done anything like that since. Until, a couple weeks ago, it was pouring down rain. This guy was in the weirdest spot. I was on an entrance to get on a highway, and he was on the middle section on like this little divider curb thing that separates the lanes. And he was just standing there. Good spot, because you could just reach out the window, and like he didn't even have to move for me to give him anything. And normally I don't give money to homeless people. I just don't. I don't know. Because it's just, I know most of them are probably not drug addicts or whatever. They're probably mentally ill people or veterans or something like that. But I was like, I looked at this dude, wasn't going to give him anything. Then I looked again out of the corner of my eye, and I realized, because I thought it was weird, he had an umbrella, but he wasn't using it. It was just sitting in his cart. And then I realized under the umbrella, this fucking guy's got a dog. And I don't know if you remember, we did that story about the guy that won the CNN Heroes, who he won for, he's a veterinarian that helps homeless people and their pets. And it made me think of that story, and I was like, you know what? This dog's got to fucking eat. This dog's cold or what. I just want to make sure this dog's eating. So I reached out the window, and I think I had $5, and I said, hey, get the two of you something to eat. And I'm pointing at the dog and said, make sure he eats or she, whatever. And he's okay, man. And so thank you and all that kind of shit. So, we got our own fucking problems here. And I understand that they have a problem. And I understand CYX says, U.S. policy helped make this immigration issue worse. We deported violent gang members without notifying the governments, and now their countries are overrun by gangs. So people are fleeing. Well, we don't want the violent gang members here, and if they're not from here, why wouldn't we deport them? Get them out of here. I don't want them here, and that's their problem. That's kind of how I feel about it. So I'm kind of over this border thing. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm getting older. I don't know if I'm getting less blue-blooded, more red-blooded, because I'm not like this. It's just not like me at all. It's making me like a little uncomfortable even that I'm starting to feel this way. But I don't know. There's just a little bit more of a, maybe it's Toby Keith dying. Maybe it was losing courtesy of the red, white, and blue guy. Because, you know, I was, it's funny. It's not funny. He passed away, obviously, from stomach cancer. God rest your soul, Toby Keith. And it's funny because I always used to think, you know, he was kind of cheesy. But really, honestly, that courtesy of the red, white, and blue song, B1 and I were talking about it. And it is like, that song gets you America'd up. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with being a little America these days. I'm okay with it. You know, not these days, anytime. You know, we got our problems here. Nothing's perfect. We got plenty of social issues and things that aren't great and aren't right here. But there's a fucking reason all these people are coming to our country. It's because it's the fucking best in the world. So fucking, hey, courtesy of the red, white, and blue. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me. I just feel like I'm just kind of over this shit. I mean, I saw that the population of Pittsburgh is, I believe, coming over every day. So we're getting that many people, the size of I don't know what the population of Pittsburgh is, but I think that's what they said is coming over daily. Maybe I have that population of Pittsburgh daily border. I swear I saw a news story. Oh, it's every month, not every day. But still, that's too fucking many. Every month, America now gets a new city the size of Pittsburgh. That's how many migrants are pouring across our borders. So there you go. That's a lot of people. That's a problem. That's not good. What am I seeing here? Secret ADS Mod just sent me a video about Trump and Kim Jong-un. I don't have time to pull it right now. I'd rather watch part of it at least to kind of understand a little bit. So I will check that out and watch it tomorrow. But anyway, let's just shut this border down. Like, you want back to the Trump. Finish that fucking wall. Put all that wire up. I know the Texas is threatening to secede because the government isn't letting them put up razor wire and shit. Man, fucking. Why not how about some drones? Why not a fucking fleet of drones that just go up and down the border looking for people that are coming across? They start coming across, put a few bullets by their feet. Make them dance like in the movies and shit. Make them shoot at their feet. They'll fucking turn the other way and run. We got to shut it down. We only have so much space here. I know people do that map where they're like, oh, if you go to Montana and blah, 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 it's, there's all this extra space in the middle of the north and the middle part of the country. But why not that's country, man. Let that be what it is. It's part of what makes America, America. Just nothing in the middle. It's flyover. It's farms and empty rolling hills and mountains and shit. Leave it alone. We don't need to make it New Mexico, or we already have New Mexico. We don't need to make it New Mexico in Wyoming or whatever, just because that's the only place we have left for space. But that's a problem. They're not going with the places where there's a lot of space. They're going to places where there's no space, like Dallas, Houston, LA, Cleveland, New York City. It's already overwhelmed. There's already plenty of poverty and homelessness here. You can't just keep coming, like all these migrant busing and shit. It's fucking out of control. It's crazy. It's crazy. All this shit with this fucking breaking, and the stealing. Like, this shit's getting out of control. Like, I used to be kind of okay and think, these companies, they have loss prevention. They can afford it if, some stuff get ripped off. But there are people going in and cleaning out an entire Apple store. The whole store. They just go in, they steal everything. Everything in the whole store. No guns, no nothing. Just a mask on their face, walk in, yanking the shit out. A whole store's worth of stuff. It's fucking crazy. And nobody gets in trouble for it. It's just nuts. We're living in a fucking insane world. Insane world. It's all because of the uber wokeness. And again, I know I just complained the other day about all the comics and stuff talking about uber wokeness and everything, but dude, it's out of fucking control. It's actually starting to bother me, and I don't care. Like, I usually don't care about that kind of stuff. I literally would be like, oh, big corporation, that's what you get. No, it's gotten so far out of hand now, but it's actually going to affect these companies, and then it's going to cause the prices to go up for normal people who don't steal shit, or everything gets put behind fucking walls or whatever, glass, or it just sucks. It's fucking bullshit. Something's got to change. And I don't think Trump's not the answer. Biden's not the answer. I don't know what the answer is, but shit's ugly right now. But you know what's funny? Old Trump, he cracks me up. Or maybe I'm the one. I called it last night. Remember I said how the Bud Light hired Shane Gillis, that comedian who was, well, my friend texted me about Shane Gillis today and said he's not. What did my friend text me about him? My friend said, my friend said Shane Gillis isn't woke or alt-right. He just a dude. Okay, well, I think that's what kind of my point was. But he's more anti-woke. He just is what he is. He's a comic. They're all anti-woke. They just say whatever they want to say. They just think, they're just trying to be funny is kind of what I meant by it. But anyway, so Bud Light hired Shane Gillis. We talked about that last night. They partnered up with him. And I thought it was a good move because it's going to start bringing Bud Light back around, because he's just like my friend said, he's just kind of a dude. He's a comic. He almost got canceled. So he's got a little edginess to him. So he's not, woke. He's not a trans person. He's not woke. He's a good fit. He's got a little edge to him. But your boy, Trump, also has decided that he is a big fan of Bud Light again. It's the funniest thing. So here it is. Here's his post today. Donald Trump. And of course, well, I heard, what was I going to say? I heard he has like $5 million worth of shares in Anheuser-Busch InBev, who owns Bud Light. So this is obviously all about money. But this is what Trump said. I'm not a Truth Social member, so I'm not logged in or signed up. But Trump goes on to say the Bud Light ad was a mistake of epic proportions, and for that, a very big price was paid. But Anheuser-Busch is not a woke company, but I can give you plenty that are. I'm building a list, and I might just release it for the world to see. He's releasing a list of woke companies. That's great. He said, why not? The radical left does it viciously to well-run conservative companies and people. Very nasty. Oh, let's see if I can do my Trump voice. Very nasty. All right, I got to hear it for me to be able to do it.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker. Very nasty. But it's the way you play the game. On the other hand, Anheuser-Busch spends $700 million a year with our great farmers, employs 65 million Americans, of which 1,500 are veterans, and is a founding corporate partner for Folds of Honor, which provides scholarships for families for fallen servicemen and women. They've raised over $30 billion and given 44,000 scholarships. Anheuser-Busch is a great American brand that perhaps deserves a second chance. What do you think? Perhaps instead we should be going after those companies that are looking to destroy America. Bad Trump impression. I got to work on it. I haven't been, whoops, sorry. That's my bad desktop. I haven't listened to him much. I haven't been watching a lot of Trump stuff, so my Trump cadence is off. So I'll have to work on that. But because the first time I did it a little while back, it was pretty good. That, not so good. Anyway, he obviously he wants everybody to buy more Bud Light because he has stock in Bud Light, so he's going to make a shit ton of money on it. So that's why he's all about it. So I just do find it funny that he was Mr. Anti-Woke, but then they were woke, and I don't know. It's so weird. He's such a goober. And then last night, remember Megan Kelly? How I said she was said Shane Gillis, what he did signing with Bud Light was a slur against Republicans. Do you think she's going to say that about Trump? I wonder. I doubt it. Okay. Let's see. What else do I got here? Oh, I will give Biden a little bit of credit. He did blow up some of those Iran-backed militia, that commander or that part of the Houthi people that are shooting at us. I was thinking that he was going to bring a little more shock and awe over there after they killed those 3 service members in Jordan. I was expecting some fucking shock and awe. I really was. I'm not going to lie to you, but yeah, they just took out a few people, so I guess that's good. They didn't start a whole fucking war. All right. Whoa, what's going on here? All right, I just peeked over at the chat for a sec, and I'm seeing Brett also says dumb for president. Okay, now all I did, I just looked up and saw there's some sort of drama going on in the chat here. Now, I can actually show you guys, those of you who aren't watching the chat, I can actually show you what's going on here with the chat. I looked up and said, the first thing I saw was, let's see here. It said, this is what the first thing I saw when I looked over. He just fucking threatened him. Why are you calling out Trevor? Is this a fucking joke? And then you see Becky said, damn, I step away and holy shit, ship broke loose. Then Gene Queen, okay. I don't know why I'm getting called names now. Then Pat Wooey says, Trevor been on RK's dick for Angelina. Trevor saying maybe he should keep his fucking mouth shut if he's trying to stay under the radar. Ooh, I don't know what's going on. So, okay, maybe I should hide this because it looks like people are doxing people here. So that's not good. What's the beef? Somebody call, somebody help me out. I need to know the deets. Call me. Oh, you know what? I just realized I can make this so much bigger in the chat if I zoom in. I never realized I could do that. Oh, that's awesome. That'll make it a lot easier to see what you guys say. Nice. Okay, so Gene Queen says Trevor's calling her names. That's what's going. Why is this not doing this? Why did it zoom in? No, it won't zoom back out. Reset, please. Thank you. All right, so somebody call with the deets on this because I don't want to have to go back and read 8,000 things from when I was talking about something else. Let me get a brief synopsis of what's happening in the chat. Somebody call. Somebody give me the heads up about what's going on in there. Just seeing people are getting, I don't know what's going on. It's crazy in there. It's crazy in the chat. Okay, well, let me see what I got going on here. Somebody said, CYX says, yes, please, somebody call. I have no idea what happens. Jean Queen says, just Trevor calling me names, nothing important. All right, hold on. Let's hear she is actually. Here she is, Tessa. Tessa, you're on another dumb show. What's going on?
Hi.
Hi. What happened in there?
Trevor's mad at everyone because he wants information on people that don't want their information out there. And I yelled at him for it yesterday, so now he's mad at me and calling me a self-absorbed fake-ass bitch. That's all.
What is the purpose of wanting this information? Is there some sort of beef and he's going to go pull a dumb and just go try to beat him up or something? Or what
I don't know, but now they're arguing with each other or something, and I don't care about that. I care about calling me names because I'm self-absorbed.
Well, yes, if that's all you care about, he might be onto something, but no, I'm just kidding.
Right.
What is the beef between these two? What is the genesis of the beef yesterday? Do you know?
From my understanding, and I could be completely wrong here, 2 weeks ago, he wanted information about somebody else, and they didn't want to give out their information and said something about someone being a bitch or something, and Trevor got upset about it, And now they're bickering back and forth. And so I got on him about dropping it and letting it go and to mind his business. And I don't know. Blew
That's
up after that.
now that's weird because when Trevor's talked on the show before, he seemed like a pretty cool, chill dude. That's surprising to me that he's getting so.
I liked Trevor. I don't know why he's so hung up about this.
I'm also confused about why would he want somebody's personal info? That's what I'm getting confused about. Did he?
I don't know.
That's
I
the
have
weird.
no idea.
That's the hole in the story that I'm confused about. I think that's where we need to get to the bottom of things. So if somebody knows what that's all about, I don't know. Scott78 said that sweet, sweet voice. I could fall in love with it, Tessa. So there you go.
Thank you, Scott. Who's Scott?
There you go. All right, Tessa. Well, thank you for calling in and clearing things up a little bit. I appreciate it. Well, hopefully we can get to the bottom of what the beef is between these two. So
no problem.
All right, Tessa.
I'll
I
continue
appreciate
to be
you.
self-absorbed while you do that.
Oh, you're not self-absorbed. You're fine. I don't think you're self-absorbed.
I'm clutching my pearls right now. Don't worry.
I had that coming. All right, I'll talk to you later.
I like it. I want pearls now.
All right, good. That'll be so funny. All right, I'll see you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Oh, that's crazy. All right, so a little bit of drama. Falcor is helping out a little bit. It says it was from the gaming show. I'm confused. Yeah, I'm definitely a little confused about it. Yeah, Blue. Yeah, if somebody can explain it, I'll take it. But either way, if somebody knows the story, Falcor said she's tired of calling in about stuff. So if somebody else wants to call in, that would be great. But all right, let's see. What else do I have here to talk about here before we wrap things up? I had this story I've had for a minute. I just don't know if I feel like going into it or doing it. Let's see here. What else do I have here? Oh, I have this story that I've had for the longest time that it is the craziest. It is such a weird story. Okay, Secret ADS Mod is helping out a little bit about the beef in the chat. Apparently during a gaming show, I think someone thought that someone on the game called Angelina a bitch. Trevor said, don't talk about it. We need to keep him protected. Okay, well, I'm confused. I wish RK would throw a little bit what's going on. Maybe he could help. Anyone? Pet Willie's calling someone Captain Save-A-Ho. Oh, and then Trevor came in white knighting, making a big deal and going hard. Oh. So supposedly RK called Angelina a bitch, and Trevor then came to her defense. And, okay, now why is that? So Trevor was like, I'll come get you. That's why he wanted his information? That is a dumb move. Okay. Well, why'd he call Angelina a bitch? What was the point? What was it? And how? I thought he was gaming. How was he? Was he in the chat and gaming at the same time? This is what I'm so confused about. How are you going to call a pregnant lady a bitch? Blame it on her hormones, if nothing else. Anyway. Blue Wolverine said that this reminds me of Jersey Shore. That's funny. Who am I, Snooki? Oh, man, I wish B1 had a Snooki tan like she used to. Man, back when B1 and I first got together, she used to go tanning and put on this Snooki super dark tanning stuff. Oh, man, she looked like she was straight out of the Dominican Republic sometimes. It was fucking great. Never gets a tan from me anymore. Won't even do it for a brother's birthday. Nothing like that. I even said I'll take self-tanner. I'll do that. You don't have to go get the skin cancer. You don't have to go get tan. Just bust out a little self-tanner for a brother. You know what I'm saying? A brother likes some tan. It accentuates all those curves. You know? Just want to take a bite out of that ass when it's all nice and brown like that. All bronzed. Not the brown part. The bronze part. That was gross. All right, anyway. So here's the deal. I have Um, Jonathan says, no, this is not Jersey Shore. This is preschool shit. Hey, it does get a little, what I say, a little middle schooly sometimes in there. But no, it's interesting. Hey, if you watch this show, you're obviously have to, if you like me and you like, then you obviously have a little bit of my temperament in you somewhere. So I'm sorry for all of you. I'm just kidding. All right, so do you remember that story we told a while back about the WWE guy, Vince McMahon, or I don't know if he's former WWE now, with all the sex trafficking and alleged, I don't know if it was rape, but just, you know, kind of all the horrible stuff that he was doing to one of his employees, this female employee. In fact, one of the things he is alleged to have done is he would use sex toys on her that he named after his wrestlers, like Hulk Hogan, or here's this one, it's The Rock, or maybe he busts out the ice dildo and he says, "Here's a Stone Cold Stunner." Anyway, so I saw this story about Crystal Hefner. That's Hugh Hefner's wife or ex-wife or widow or whatever. Remember Hugh Hefner? That was the guy from Playboy. He started Playboy. He was infamously had 3 wives at once, and Playboy Mansion, and women in and out of his life, all the way up to the, you know, I think he was 90 or whatever when he died, or I don't even know how fucking old he was. But anyway, so Vince McMahon named all those sex toys. Now I wonder if Crystal Hefner, I wonder if she names her sex toys Herbal Essence, or maybe Tresemme, or maybe Prel. That's an old brand. Maybe Pantene. And there's a reason I suggest these names, and it's because Crystal Hefner has revealed a very interesting thing about herself. Now, I know every young girl or every young person, they think about the first time they're going to have sex a lot. You sit around, you're a dude, oh, am I going to last? Well, how's it going to work? Am I going to hit the wrong hole? Am I going to, there's all these weird things going through your mind the first time you have sex. And then also when you're having sex with somebody for the first time, like their first time, because I've de-virginized somebody before. You're thinking about that. You're thinking about them, and they're thinking about it, and it's just a big deal. But I never really, I put a little bit of thought into it leading up to it, but not nearly as much as this Crystal Hefner did. Now, she says, she wrote a book, and this is why, guys, if you're a parent, you need to talk to your kids about sex. Like, the nitty-gritty, dirty details about it. Not just the birds and the bees, like a penis goes in a vagina and 9 months later a baby's born. Like, it's got to be more details, because literally about, what happens the first time, and that when somebody's deflowered or whatever. It's messy. You know what I'm saying? But that's what Crystal Hefner says in this book. She talks about how she thought about her first time having sex. And she says, all I knew about sex was that the first time was going to hurt and that there would be blood. She goes on to say, I wasn't so worried about the pain or the blood, but I didn't want to experience either of those with someone I was having sex with. She goes on to say, that seemed more mortifying to me than actually being naked and doing the deed. She said, I wanted to be cool and sexy and beautiful the first time. So, this is where it gets crazy. She goes on to say, I decided the best way to control for possible embarrassment was to de-virginize myself first. I couldn't talk to my mom about it, and my older sisters were too far away and caught up in their own lives to help me with this problem. Plus, it wasn't the sort of thing we talked about easily or ever. I waited until everyone was out of the house, then went into the bathroom where I could lock the door. I turned on the shower and stripped down. I didn't like to look at my body in the mirror, so I quickly got in the water. My hands were shaking as I picked up the small squeeze bottle of shower gel. It was pink with tiny daisy-like flowers on it. Crystal then revealed an explicit detail that she then used I don't even know if I can say it, but I'm just fucking going to say it. She then inserted the body. She then inserted the bottle into herself until she bled. She said, I dropped it and sat down in the shower, letting warm water run across my back and shoulders. She then went on to say that it was all said and done. She was then ready to lose her virginity to her boyfriend at the time. Holy fucking shit. That is absolutely insane. I don't know. 844-HIT-DUM, 844-448-3862. Ladies, is this something that women actually considered? Is this I've never heard of anything remotely close to this before. This is insane. Was this something you worried about the whole time before you had sex? Like, it's absolutely nuts to me that this girl did this to herself, and that her parents, like she's so detached from her parents that she couldn't talk to them about it. That's fucking nuts. It's absolutely crazy that this girl had to go through all this. Then it had to hurt like a motherfucker too. Fucking plastic bottle getting jammed, or plastic, shower gel thing shoved up there. That had to hurt like a motherfucker. So yeah, I feel bad for this girl. Give her credit for being so open and honest, and hopefully, giving a little bit of inspiration to parents to be more open and honest with their kids about sex. Because that is an absolutely crazy, crazy story. So be careful with your shower. If you got young daughters, be careful with your shower things. Lock up your shower gels. You never know what'll happen. All right. So let's do a little video dump here before we wrap things up on the show here. Vanilla Charlie says the third hour is porn hour on another dumb show. I think it's been, 6 minutes, but okay. We could talk porn all day if you want there, buddy. All right, so let's see. Here's some of these videos I got for you. So I have this is from yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there is an activist who, I don't know if you guys know the Las Vegas Sphere. I think the Sphere is super cool. I'm borderline and obsessed with it. I really want to go to the Sphere. It's on like a bucket list kind of thing for me. I would love to see a cool concert or event in the Sphere. But here is excuse me, I'm like wheezing. There's an activist who was trying to bring attention to a homeless pregnant lady, and he climbed the Sphere. Here he is.
Hey guys, I'm here on top of the Sphere. I guess they're going to make me go through the top, but I just wanted to say that we are doing this today to raise money for a mother named Isabel. She is homeless and pregnant and needs help, guys. So go over to letthemlive.org or the link in my bio to go support this woman. Big thanks. Praise be to God. I will talk to y'all later.
Love the person trying to block the video. Go fuck yourself.
Screen that puts constant displays of
the dude who was seen months ago scaling that
blah 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 blah
and sphere.
Let's just show this part. I don't care what you have to say about it. There he is. So he gets up to the top. There he is up on the top. Isn't that fucking crazy? So there's a little daredevil fucking shit. But that Sphere is cool as fuck, man. I want to see it. I was actually watching the Pat McAfee show today. They're in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl. And they have a thing where, I guess U2 has a residency there. And it was so funny. I have to give them credit because they were super brutally honest about it on the show, how fucking terrible U2 is. They just made fun of how bad the whole concert was. I was laughing so fucking hard because I don't like U2. I find U2 to be just awful. I can't stand them. I've never liked them ever. And I'm an Irish dude, so I'm like supposed to like U2. And my mom loved U2 just because they're Irish. I think they have maybe one song I can tolerate, but I just cannot stand U2. But they have a residency at the Sphere, and I got to see just some of what it looks like inside the Sphere while they were performing. They had like some video that they took while they were in there on the show, Pat McAfee show, and it was really it's really, really cool. Really want to go to that place. But here is another crazy video of people doing something up high. This is a graffiti artist tagging an abandoned building in downtown, I believe, LA. Look at this shit. Just to fucking spray some look how high they are up there. Are you fucking kidding me? No rope, nothing, just leaning into the wall. Oh my God, this is making my feet start to get this weird feeling when I look at people doing heights. Fuck. How is it worth it to do this? Nobody can fucking see. Nobody can see it. Like, you're so high, the people on the street cannot see whatever you're tagging on there, whatever graffiti you're putting on there. Nobody can fucking see it. Oh, maybe if you make it big like that, maybe big, huge, a hole as tall as that one was. Look at me trying to lean around to see the side of the building like an idiot. But no, yeah, those things make me so fucking uncomfortable. Those graffiti, or I'm saying any of those high videos. There's this guy, I can't remember what his name is, but I follow him on Instagram. He's this like 70-year-old rock climber dude, or aerialist that climbs buildings and rock faces and all this stuff. It's pretty crazy. I have another video here. Now, I'll warn you, this might be a little upsetting to some people. It's fairly graphic. I'll give you a little warning on it. If you don't want to watch, look away. Speaking of climbing and rock walls, this is at an indoor rock wall. This happened, I saw this, I don't know, earlier this week. Here, check this out. This is why I don't do any kind of rock climbing. Okay, now you'll notice right off the bat, so he gets a little rosin on his hands. Now, what are you going to notice this guy doesn't do here? Okay, we're just going to climb without putting on any sort of harness or rope connecting us to the ceiling, preventing us from falling. Okay, looks like he knows what he's doing. He's getting up the wall very quickly. I mean, I couldn't make it past the first couple steps. I can't climb shit. I can't do a fucking pull-up, so obviously I can't rock climb. But right here, he goes for one, and I don't know what happens, if his hand gives out or his foot slips or what. There you go. You can tell what happens after that. Now, I saw the whole video before it cuts off, and he falls into a big pile on the bottom ground. And it's weird because he doesn't look like that big of a dude, but when he's on the ground, he almost looks like he bloats immediately. So I don't know if his insides exploded or something, but I did see he did live, unless he's since passed in a couple of days. But yeah, that was a pretty fucking crazy video. Poor guy. This is another video that was pretty nuts that I saw yesterday. I can't believe this guy was able to get this. This makes me want to get a dash cam. You know what I really want to get, guys? I really want to get those Ray-Ban glasses or sunglasses that are constant video, where you could go live on Instagram right off your glasses. That is so fucking cool. Where people just see whatever you're seeing. So if you're at a concert and you want to show something or whatever, that's so cool. That's so fucking cool. I really want one of those. But I want to get a dash cam too, because you never know what you're going to catch. And this guy caught some crazy shit on his dash cam. I think I'm going to clip that. I like how that guy says that right there. Like I said, fireball. That was absolutely nuts. Let's watch that in slow motion. All right, so let's see here. We have him coming up. You can see the truck coming up over there. No idea what's going on with this. What is this guy even doing? Did he just lose control all of a sudden? Damn, that shit's nuts. I can't believe it didn't just explode right there. I know I see like a spark and some gas, like fire, but how does it? Let's see here. Brap says, must have thought he was at a come and go. I don't know what that means. Let's see here. What else do I have here? Oh, all right. I got one last one to end on. This one's pretty good. It's so silly and so dumb, but it made me laugh so fucking hard because I'm a fucking dirty pervert. And as soon as I saw this video, I died. I thought it was fucking hilarious. So this is a girl who was on Jeopardy the other night, and she, I don't know, it's a little confusing, but I think it was like one of the first times ever where all three of them bet $0 on Final Jeopardy. And all three of them bet $0 on Final Jeopardy. And the girl who ended up winning, because she had already had like the highest amount going into Final Jeopardy, so she was automatically going to win because everybody bet zero. To celebrate the fact that everybody had zeros up on the screen, she thought she would make a gesture showing zeros. However, for perverts like me, it looked a little different.
She did, and she wagered. Nobody wagered anything. 16. She did, and she wagered. Nobody wagered anything. 16.
Maybe I'm just watching too much MMF porn, but that made me laugh so hard when I saw this. Look at her just showing off her skills. I got one in one hand, I got one in the other, and look at me go, baby. I like this one. No, wait, I want this one. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Good for her. What a pro. That's my kind of girl, I tell you. What a great gal we got right there. That was so funny. Oh, real quick, the phones are ringing. I do see Trevor calling in. It looks like we might get a little clarification to the story. The beef in the chat. Trevor, you're on another dumb show. What's up, dude?
Hey, I finally got a break from work. I don't care what any of these motherfuckers say in here. They can spin it any way they want because that's what they do. And that's fine. But don't fucking threaten to come to my job. That's where I draw the fucking line. It ain't that fucking serious. Don't bring the shit up. And that's it. I'm done. Drop it. I'm moving on. It didn't need to go that fucking way, and it needs to quit right there.
Well,
That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Well, real quick, did it start with RK supposedly calling Angelina a bitch, and then you coming to her defense?
Yeah.
Is that the story in a nutshell?
And I didn't say shit. I didn't say shit about it after that. And they want to keep bringing it up. That's why I'm pissed. No, I'm pissed off because of yesterday. I'm not going to say his name because everyone wants to protect this motherfucker, which is whatever. I'm not the one that brought the shit up yesterday. All I said was one thing, and then he's calling me names and shit.
And then
I don't give a fuck about any of you guys and your little pussy-ass clique. I don't give a fuck. Keep me the fuck out of it. Don't threaten my fucking job. That's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's all I'm saying about it. No
I agree.
more.
Definitely not
Exactly.
cool. I definitely agree. That's not cool, going after people's work and stuff like that. It's kind of, just not a thing. Yeah, I don't know how chat beef turns into wanting to fight and stuff all like that. It's a little bit nuts, I think.
Well, you can ask them.
I agree.
It's not fucking serious.
I agree. Well, it is.
That's all I'm saying about it. It's fucking moved on. It don't need to come to that.
I agree. I hope
I
everybody.
don't take that shit lightly. You don't fuck with my fucking livelihood.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
Totally understand.
It's over. It's done. Move the fuck on.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Well, Trevor, I appreciate you calling. I appreciate you watching, dude. So hopefully they don't run you off and you're still here and all that good stuff.
No, I'm still here. Ain't
All right,
nobody
cool.
gonna scare me off.
Good. I appreciate
right,
it, bro. All right, dude. Have a
All
safe,
right,
good rest of your shift, dude.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
All right, be safe, man. See ya. All right, guys. Brap is clarifying the come and go thing he was saying. He said K&G is a gas station in Montana. Now I understand. There you go. Okay. All right. So I hope that you guys could move on past it, because what I'm confused about is if you guys all love Angelina, if somebody called Angelina a name and Trevor was looking out for Angelina, why would everybody be mad at Trevor? That's what I don't understand. Was it the way he said he'd help? Did he say like, yo, Arcade, don't call her a bitch or I'll fuck you up? Like, is that what it is? That's what's really confusing about it. That's what I don't understand. The whole thing is very weird. Very weird. Crooked Orchids, I didn't mean you like chasing everyone off. I was saying if Trevor felt like he was, because he felt he's accused, he feel like he's being attacked by everybody is what he's saying. He doesn't feel like anybody's really on his side. That's why I'm just I'm impartial because I don't really know the whole fucking story. That's why I wish I would have gotten a little bit more explanation. Oh boy, Tessa's calling back. Here we go. A little more clarification from Tessa. What's up?
Hi, I'm back.
Okay.
So I don't know what everybody else is reading, but he's the one that keeps bringing it up every day. Nobody else keeps bringing it up, and he's the one that came after me out of nowhere today, and that's the only reason that people are having shit with him again today is because he came after me for no fucking reason again. And he's the one that brings up dude every fucking day, talking shit. Nobody's talking to him. He's starting it. That's what I'm confused about. You want to drop it then. Shut up. Get over it.
Gotcha. Now, why would he go after you?
This is what and it's not that fucking serious.
Real quick.
All of them. I don't understand. Everybody. It's not that fucking serious, guys. Chill out.
Really quick, what I'm confused about is why, if Trevor came to Angelina's defense, and all you guys love Angelina, we all do, why would everybody be so mad at Trevor? That's what I don't get. What did he say?
Trevor went off on dude about it, and it wasn't a serious thing. It was like a silly comment that was made.
Oh, like
and
when
then
you say
Trevor
when
keeps bringing it up and talking shit about dude because dude retracts his comments, but he's doing it because of his own personal reasons. But he brings it up every fucking day.
What was
so
the
we're
original?
Like, drop it, let it go, and he keeps bringing it up.
What was the original thing Trevor said to dude to try? Now I'm getting confused when you say dude because it's making me think of Carrie from Rochester. But
not
okay,
that dude.
Yeah, I got you. So
unnamed dude.
Unnamed dude. Okay. So unnamed dude. What is it specifically that Trevor said to unnamed dude that got everybody so upset?
They were playing a game.
Yeah, no, I know. I know the situation, but what was the specific thing that Trevor said to dude?
Like he keeps trying to call him out and ask him who he is, knowing who he is in the chat when dude doesn't want to be brought up. Because the dude that's in the chat deletes his comments after he says them because he is trying to keep his shit private because he's got his own shit going on. But Trevor won't let it go and keeps bringing it up and talking shit. So the unnamed dude started talking shit back, called Trevor a pussy, and that's why Trevor's all pissed off now. And that's why the unnamed dude is threatening to go after him now because they were fighting yesterday. I got involved because I told Trevor to let it go because dude's got shit going on that he doesn't know about and just let it go. Drop it. Doesn't matter. And then he got pissed off and kept arguing with me. And I kept telling him, just drop it, let it go, quit being a baby. You're being a baby right now. You're acting like a little bitch, more than females do.
I'm still not gotten, I'm still waiting to hear somebody tell me exactly what Trevor said to dude. Did Trevor say, hey, dude, don't call her that or I'm going to fucking kick your ass?
I don't know what exactly he said. He was pissed off about it. As far as I'm aware, it ended after that. And then 2 weeks, that was 2 weeks ago. And then again, when he saw unnamed dude in the chat, he's like, why do you keep retracting your statements? What's your problem? Blah, blah, blah. Just talking shit. And dude was like, just drop it, let it go. And he didn't let it go. And then that's why I came in and said, drop it, let it go. You don't know what's going on. Just leave him be. Let him do his thing.
Got it.
And then Trevor wants to come after me today out of nowhere. Didn't say anything to him. Didn't say anything about the situation. I wasn't even in the chat. I was in the shower. I got out of the shower and read that Trevor called me the self-absorbed fake-ass bitch or whatever the fuck he said. And I said, if you have a problem with me, then tell me I'm here. We can talk about it. Not a big fucking deal. And then everyone started blowing up and losing their fucking minds again.
Were you naked while you were reading the chat?
I was naked reading the chat in the shower, actually, while listening to your voice.
Ooh, that's hot. Nice. All right. Ooh, made my day.
Isn't
All
it?
right. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right.
I was
All right.
probably naked responding to the chat, too.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice. You're getting everybody all hot and bothered. Here we go. All right, Tessa. Well, thank you for clarifying.
Man.
I think we're getting somewhere. I hope everybody can let it go and we can just move along because it is
just let it go and clutch your pearls. It's not that hard.
It is a YouTube show after all. You know what I'm saying? So
it literally doesn't matter. It doesn't affect any of our lives, guys.
Well, I mean a little bit, but not that much, I guess. You know. All right, Tessa. I'll talk to you.
Just a little bit.
Thanks for calling. You're the best.
Okay.
Adios.
Bye.
Alrighty, guys. I think that Brad said Chub check. Yeah, hey. I think we were all thinking. I think we were thinking the same thing. I think we were all thinking the same thing when she said I was getting out of the shower. We were all thinking, was she naked reading the chat? I think we were all thinking the same thing. So, alrighty, guys. That is going to wrap things up for us tonight here on Another Dumb Show. I want to thank you guys all for coming and streaming on my tube. You know how good it feels to have you guys streaming on my tube. It feels so good. It feels so right. If you've not hit the thumbs up on tonight's video, I would greatly appreciate it if you did that. If you've not already joined, we're always adding members to the League of Dummies, and if you, based on what you heard, it looks like we got all kinds of drama in there, and who wouldn't want to be a part of all that drama? I tell you what. So if you'd like to be a member of the League of Dummies, all you have to do is go to the Another Dumb Show homepage, click the join button, and then pick one of the tiers. And the next thing you know, there are 3 different tier levels ranging from $1.99 up to $9.99, and you have your options to help support here because we're all fan funded here on Another Dumb Show, so I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So the more members we have, the longer the Another Dumb Show will be able to roll. So I encourage you guys to please hit that join button and become members. And don't forget, if you guys are not watching live, you can always comment on the show on YouTube, or you could always send me an email at anotherdumbshow@gmail.com, and I will read your email or comments on the show tomorrow. So we'll be back live tomorrow at 7 o'clock with the main show. Hit that thumbs up for a brother, and I am out of here. See ya.